Hi class, good afternoon. How are you doing today? Okay, great to hear. So today our topic is farm tools. Can any one of you tell me what is a farm tool? Okay then, fair enough. Now I'll move on to the PowerPoint where I discuss what is a farm tool. Okay, so let's go straight into our PowerPoint. So, farm tools. What are farm tools? Farm tools are implements which are designed to allow farm operations to be done easier. So we see here that these implements allow us for our work to be done much easier. If it were not for these tools, our work would have been harder on the farm or in the garden or anywhere that we choose to grow crops. We have some farm tools such as cutlass, shovel, hoe, axe, rake, garden fork, measuring tape, wheelbarrow, and pickaxe. So the cutlass is the first one we have there. And the cutlass is commonly used to clear weeds and unwanted vegetation from fields and gardens. So when we say unwanted vegetation, what comes to mind? So unwanted vegetation is any grass or any weed that we have on the plot that we want to plant and we need to get rid of. Those are unwanted vegetation, right? Unwanted vegetation is unwanted plants that are not needed there. And that is what we use a cutlass to clear, right? The shovel. Well, the shovel here is a very important tool in garden because it is used for digging holes to plant trees, shrubs, and other plants. Also, the shovel is very important because it allows us to do drainage, or it allows us to construct our drains so that any excess water would be drained off from the beds. So the shovel is a very important farm tool because we all know if our beds are flooded, well, the crops won't grow. We will have more losses than profits. So the shovel is very important. Always remember that. A hoe. Well, a hoe is effective for uprooting and removing weeds from garden beds and other areas. Additionally, it is used for loosening of soil. So we see the hoe there. It can also be used to remove certain grasses from the beds, right? Additionally, after we would have forked up a bed, well, then we will have big clumps of mud or soil. And the hoe now would be used to loosen the soil, right? After we would have hit the soil, we would continue striking it, well, then it would become loose with the hoe. We have the axe, and the axe is used to cut down trees by making strategic cuts at the base. So let's say you are a farmer and you want to plant some planting suckers. However, the land that you have, they have large trees on it. You can't use your cutlass or your kitchen knife to cut down the tree. You need a special tool, and the tool is the axe. The axe is used to cut down the trees, and it's very important. Also, the axe could be used to cut the base of the tree, the root of the tree, so that the root could be, so that the stump there that is left after you cut down the tree, it could be removed for a tractor to go onto the land to plow the land. Next, we have the rake. And a rake is commonly used to gather fallen leaves, grass clippings, and other debris from lawns and garden. So after you would have used, let's say we use the cutlass to clear down the bed from the weeds. Well, then we need something else to remove the grass or gather up the grass so that we could pick it up and get rid of it. And the ideal farm tool is the rake. Next, we have the garden fork. And the garden fork is excellent for loosening compacted soil, making it easier to work with. So let's say we're in the school garden. We're in school garden now, we're about to prepare a plot of land to plant. So now we will need a tool to upturn the soil or loosen the soil so that we would be able to plant. And the ideal tool is a garden fork. It is excellent for upturning the soil. Measuring tape. Well, we all know that when we are about to do something where we need correct measurement, let's say we are about to plant some tomatoes in the garden, we need correct measurement to make the beds. And the perfect tool for us to measure out the beds is anybody could guess? Correct, the measuring tape. The measuring tape, we use it to measure the width and the length of each bed to make sure we have the correct measurement so that our plants will be able to grow correctly and have the correct spacing as well. We also use the tape to space the plants, right? Next, we have the wheelbarrow. And the wheelbarrow, what do we do with the wheelbarrow, class? Well, the wheelbarrow, we use it to transport soil or any other material in the garden from one location to another. Excuse me. So, let's say we would have planted a bale of sweet potato in the garden and it's time to harvest. Remember now, it needs to move from the garden to somewhere where it can be sold. Let's say at the front or by the office. So now we use a wheelbarrow. We load the wheelbarrow with the sweet potato that we harvested and transport it to the front. So the wheelbarrow is the ideal farm tool for transporting material from one place to another, right? Next we have, anybody could tell me what is this tool? I know you may have seen it before, but you might not have known the name. Anyone? Yes, the pickaxe. Nice. Give yourself a clap. A pickaxe. The pickaxe is effective for breaking up compacted soil and rocks, making it easier to cultivate and prepare garden beds. So let's say we are on a bed now. We will have noticed that, okay, this bed look a bit tough. We could use the pickaxe to just loosen up the soil enough so that we could come with a fork and have the bed dug up properly. So those compacted soils, sometimes we may have some big lumps. We may need something heavier than a cutlass to break up the soil. So we use a pickaxe. The pickaxe is the ideal tool to loosen compacted soil. So now I'll play a video for you on farm tools.
In our class today, we will be discussing the topic, Basic Farm Tools. Basic farm tools are simple tools that farmers use to help them with various tasks on a farm. The following are the examples of basic farm tools. Cutlass. This is a tool used for farming and gardening. It is a long, curved blade attached to a wooden or plastic handle. Farmers use cutlasses to cut down weeds, clear grass, and harvest crops. Shovel. Farmers use a shovel to dig holes in the ground, move soil, and scoop up things like compost or manure. Rake. A rake is a tool with a long handle and a row of teeth or tines attached to it. It is used to gather leaves, grass, or hay into piles. Farmers also use rakes to level the soil or remove debris from the ground. Hoe. A hoe is a tool with a long handle and a flat, rectangular blade attached at a right angle to it. Farmers use a hoe to break up the soil, remove weeds, and create furrows for planting seeds. Wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow is a small cart with one wheel at the front and handles at the back. It helps farmers carry heavy loads, such as tools, soil, or harvested crops, around the farm. Pitchfork. A pitchfork is a tool with a long handle and several sharp metal prongs at the end. Farmers use pitchforks to lift and move hay, straw, or other types of loose material. Garden hose. A garden hose is a long, flexible tube used to water plants. Farmers can attach a nozzle to the end of the hose to control the water flow. Secateurs. Secateurs, also known as pruning shears or clippers, are small cutting tools used to trim or prune plants, such as removing dead branches or shaping bushes. Remember, these are just some examples of basic farm tools. There are many more tools and equipment that farmers use depending on the type of farming they do. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.
Yes, so we saw there that farm tools are those tools that help us to make our work easier. Right, class? Can anybody tell me what they would have learned from the video or the class so far? Yes, a cutlass is used for clearing weeds. Very good. Very good. Next. Correct. A rake is used for removal of weeds from the bed. Correct. So now I have a small activity for you to do. What you will do, you'll match the correct farm tool to their use. Okay, everyone should be finished by now. So the first farm tool there we have is a garden fork. Now, does a garden fork helps in planning and laying out garden beds to ensure they are of the correct size and shape? No. So is a garden fork used for digging holes for planting trees, shrubs, and other plants? No, that's not correct. So is a garden fork excellent for loosening compacted soil, making it easier to work with? Is that so? Come on. Yes, that is correct. The garden fork is excellent for loosening compacted soil, making it easier to work with. Excellent. The cutlass. Does a cutlass helps in planning and laying out garden beds? No. Anybody to tell me? Correct. The cutlass is used for clearing weeds and unwanted vegetation from fields and gardens. Correct. Give yourself a clap. A measuring tape. Anyone? Yes, the measuring tape. The measuring tape helps in planning and laying out garden beds to ensure they are of the correct size and shape. Lovely. The shovel. Very easy. What is the shovel used for? The shovel is used for digging holes for planting trees, shrubs, and other plants. Correct. Excellent. And the wheelbarrow. We should get this one very quick. The wheelbarrow. Yes, the wheelbarrow is ideal for transporting soil from one location to another within the garden. Give yourself a clap. Come on. Excellent. So let's recap. Can anyone tell me what is a cutlass used for? Yes, clearing vegetation or unwanted material or unwanted plants from the bed, correct. Can anyone tell me what any other farm tool is used for? The shovel. And the shovel is used for digging holes for planting trees, shrubs, and other plants. Correct. And now we see what are farm tools. One more question before we close. What are farm tools? Farm tools are tools. Come on, say it in your own words. Yes, farm tools are tools that are used to make farm work easier. Correct. Any other question? Would you like to ask me any other question? Well then, class, if no other question, thank you. I'll see you next class. Bye.